Okay, back again. 3 episodes in one day from not having uploaded anything in, I said 5 years, it's only been a year. And there's something to that as well. This idea that we have it in our heads that certain things are true. Like I had it in my head, it was like, oh, it's 5 years since I uploaded anything. But that's just me being fucking needlessly harsh on myself, as I tend to be. But there's something to that. There's something to writing shit down for a start and making note of things. I have lost an absolute mountain of weight in the last, let's say, year or so. 20 kilos I'm down from my heaviest. That's fucking 40 odd pounds for all the Yanks listening across the pond. And I've done that 2 ways. First and foremost, not eating as much. That goes a long way. There's another expression, me that loves my little expressions. You can't out-train a bad diet. And in the year that I lost all the weight, I don't think I've ever trained as little in my life. But what I did do was I got on top of how much I eat. And what I'd love to do, and I'm not kicking this down the road too much, hopefully, because I'm back at it and I don't want to be too hard on myself and I don't want to take on too much responsibility at once, but I do want to do a deep dive on the whole calories in, calories out thing, because people just don't understand it. But I'd like to have it, at the very least, a few bullet points jotted down. But essentially the key to losing weight is not eating as much. Now, the other side of that coin is taking note of your weight. So for, I think it was 12 weeks, I weighed myself every morning after I went to the toilet and before I ate anything. And I calibrated my scales and I made sure it was an accurate weight. And I weighed myself every morning. Made note of it. And then at the end of 7 days, so, you know, I might miss a day here and there, but after every 7 days, I'd add it up, divide it by 7, and that was my weight. So if you want to get an accurate weight of yourself, that, as far as I'm concerned, is what you have to do. You have to wake up first thing in the morning, or wake up whenever you wake up, go to the toilet if you can, and before you eat or drink anything, weigh yourself. Do that 7 days on the trot, divide it by 7, and that's your weight. Because you've no real weight per se. You only have a weight at a given moment in time. So I might weigh 80 kilos, but if I drink a litre of water, I now weigh 81 kilos. So in order to know, and if I don't drink anything for a day, I could weigh 79 kilos. So your weight can fluctuate by a kilo or 2 or 3 pounds on a day-to-day basis, no problem. So you need to average it out. But anyway, that's another day's work. I'm after losing my fucking train of thought here, but anyway, a little improvement I made in the last time. I'm not reaching up. You might have noticed that I was doing this in the last episode ago, but straightening my camera. I tightened the fucking nut in the back of it. Little differences go a long way. Psychological scars, that's a thing that I've talked about endlessly on the podcast, and it's something that I really have to remind myself about. Change the things that you do every day. So I run what's called a vertical farm. That's what I'm doing now. I'm at my deliveries, and in my grow room there's been a couple of flickering fluorescent lights that were there since I moved into the premises fucking nearly 8 years ago. Now they're not grow lights. I grow under, you know, brand spanking new LEDs, and they're the particular light spectrum and all that jazz. So my grow lights are perfect, but these were lights that lit up the room essentially before I put the grow systems in. And they've been flickering and annoying me for nearly 8 years. And I only fucking fixed them yesterday because, you know, in my head I said, you know, I don't need to. And when you're running your own business and you're a glorified one-man band, now I have 3 members of staff now, thank God, but you tend to only do the things that you really have to do. But those bulbs have been bugging me. And now every time I walk into my grow room, I go, fix the fucking bulbs. And it gives me the tiniest little lift, and it puts a little smile on my face. Now that'll wear off too. In a week or a month, I'll have completely forgotten about it. But practically every day for 8 years, or maybe not every day, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, I might cop them. And I go, fucking things, I must do that. And that in and of itself isn't going to negatively impact your life. But that over a long enough time period certainly will. Especially if it's only one of 100 little things like that that are bugging you. Whatever it might be. It doesn't matter. It could be that little mark that's on your window. It could be the fact that the drawer beside your bed is so untidy, or that your clothes are on the floor, or whatever it is. But something that you notice in any way, shape, regularly needs to be fixed and should be fixed. And I've named the kind of psychological scars. It's akin to death by 1,000 cuts, but it's misery by 1,000 psychological scars. So fix what you can. Like the fucking thing that was behind me here. I noticed as well after watching the first video back that there was little droplets of rain on the windscreen. Now from my perspective, it wasn't affecting me in the least. But from the camera's perspective it was. So the camera was focusing in on the drops of water on the windscreen, and when it's focusing on that, it means it's not focusing on everything else. So that's something that I've learned. I'm on the 3rd episode now, and 2 relatively major things that I've learned. 1 is tighten the fucking nuts so the camera doesn't wobble as much, and 2, if there is specks of rain, they mightn't be bothering you, but they could be throwing the focus of the camera. So you live and learn. And on that note, I'll chat to you soon.